Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello students, in the previous session we have learned how to find value of the algebraic expression for given values of the variables used in that algebraic expression, and we have practiced many questions on finding value of an algebraic expression. Now in this session we are going to see some applications of the algebraic expressions, like where we can use algebraic expressions. So the first one is using algebraic expressions as formulas or rules. So for formulas, we can take an example of perimeter. We have studied how to find perimeter of different shapes. Let's say we are having an equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle, do you remember what was the perimeter of equilateral triangle, or how we can find its perimeter? It is equal to 3 into L, where L is the side length of this triangle. We can write it here, where L is side of triangle. As it is equilateral triangle, so all the side lengths are equal only. So for equilateral triangle, expression for finding perimeter is 3L. Now similarly, suppose we are having a square. Now for square, what will be the perimeter? It will be 4L. Now what is L here? Again, L is the side length of the square, where L is side of square. So here expression for finding perimeter is 4L. Similarly, for rectangle we have 2 into L plus B, where L and B are length and breadth of the rectangle. So here for this one, for rectangle it is 2 into L plus B. This is also an algebraic expression where L and B are variables. So this is how we can use algebraic expressions for finding perimeters. Similarly, suppose we are having any regular n-sided polygon. So suppose we are having regular n-sided polygon. By regular we mean all the side lengths are equal and all the interior angles are also equal. So regular n-sided polygon, its perimeter will be equal to n into L, where L is the side length. So for n-sided polygon, expression is NL. Suppose we are having a regular pentagon, then it will be 5L, because in pentagon there are 5 sides. So it is 5-sided polygon, and if it is regular, then perimeter will be 5L, where L is the side length of the pentagon. Suppose we are having hexagon, then it will be 6L, because number of sides in hexagon it is 6. Similarly for heptagon, octagon, it will be 7 and 8 respectively. So this is how we can use algebraic expressions for the formulas of perimeters. Now can we use it for areas also? Yes, we do use. So let's say we are having a square of side length L. So here is the square of side length L. Now its area is equal to L square, that is L into L. Now this is again an algebraic expression where L is the variable. Now similarly for rectangle of dimensions L and B, or we can say length is L and breadth is B, its area is L into B. So here L into B is the expression for finding area of the rectangle, where L is length and B is breadth of the rectangle. L and B are variables here. Now suppose we are having triangle. Let's say base of the triangle is B. For triangle we are having base equal to B and height equal to H. So its area is half into base into height. This we have already studied, and this is nothing but BH upon 2, where B is base and h is height. So bh upon 2 is the expression for finding area of a triangle, where b is the height, where b is the base and h is the height. So this is how we can use algebraic expressions for finding for perimeters and areas of different figures. Now here is another application of algebraic expressions. We can use them as rules for number patterns. Now suppose we are having n as a natural number. N is any natural number. Now successor of this natural number, that is the natural number which is just greater than this natural number, will be n plus 1. So here this is the expression we use for successor of any natural number. So n plus 1 is successor of n. Suppose we are having any natural number, let's say we are having 15. So 15 is the natural number. What will be its successor? Now according to this rule, it should be 15 plus 1, and we know 15 plus 1 is 16, and we know 16 is successor of this natural number 15. So like this also we can use algebraic expressions. Now suppose we are having n as any natural number, then what can we say about 2n? 2n will be even natural number. Now what about 2n plus 1? 2n plus 1 will be odd natural number. We can check by putting the any values of n. Now let's suppose we are taking value of n as 15 again. Now what is 2 into 15? 2 into 15 is 30, which is even number. So what we are getting, 2n is even here. This will be true for any value of n. We can put any natural number, 2n will always be a even number only. Now let's take 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1 means 2 into n, which is 30. So this will be 30 plus 1, and this is equal to 31, and this one is odd. So here 2n plus 1 is indeed odd number. So always for every value of n, 2n plus 1 will be odd natural number, where n is any natural number. Now let's discuss how we can use algebraic expressions for such patterns as it is shown here in the figure. So here we are having squares. In the first pattern there is only one square and number of line segments are 4. And in the second one there are 2 squares and number of line segments it is 7. And for the third one 3 squares and line segments are 3, and for the fourth one there are 13 line segments and 4 squares. So now see, this 4 is nothing but 3 into 1 plus 1. Now this 7 is 3 into 2 plus 1, and 10 is 3 into 3 plus 1. 3 into 3 plus 1 is 10. Now 14. Now 13, this will be 3 into 4 plus 1, that is 12 plus 1, 13. So here if we will observe carefully, like for the nth pattern, what we are going to have, see, for the first pattern it is 3 into 1 plus 1, for the second pattern it is 3 into 2 plus 1, for the third pattern it is 3 into 3 plus 1, and for the fourth one it is 3 into 4 plus 1. Similarly for nth pattern it will be 3 into n plus 1. This is for the nth pattern. Now suppose the question is, what is the number of line segments used for the 100th pattern? So do we have to draw 100 squares and then we have to count how many line segments we are using? Or what we can do, we can simply put value of n as 100 in this expression. So this will give us 3 into 100 plus 1, this is nothing but 301. So it means in 100th pattern we are going to have 301 line segments. So this is how we can use algebraic expressions in such patterns also. Like for finding what will be the number of sticks or number of line segments used for nth pattern or 100th pattern, or we can say 250th pattern, whichever number, for whichever pattern we have to find number of line segments, we will just replace the value of n with that number in this expression. So here this expression is the general expression, or it is just giving us the number of line segments used in nth pattern. So it is 3n plus 1 in this case. Now will it be always 3n plus 1? No, it is not always 3n plus 1. It depends upon the shapes we are having. Now for example, let's have one more example. Now here is one more pattern. Now if we will observe carefully, in the first pattern there are 3 sticks, or we can say 3 line segments, and in the second one it is 5, and third one it is 7, and for the third one it is 7, and for the fourth one it is 9. Now this 3 is 2 into 1 plus 1, and 5 is 2 into 2 plus 1, and 7 is 2 into 3 plus 1, and 9 is 2 into 4 plus 1. Now similarly, can we tell now for nth pattern how many line segments will be required for nth pattern? Now observe carefully. For the first pattern it is 2 into 1 plus 1. For the second one it is 2 into 2 plus 1. For the third one 2 into 3 plus 1. For the fourth one 2 into 4 plus 1. For the fifth one it will be 2 into 5 plus 1. Going in the same manner, for nth pattern it will be 2 into n plus 1, or we can write this as 2n plus 1. So this is the expression for the number of line segments used in the nth pattern. Now suppose the question is, how many line segments will be in 150th pattern? So what we are supposed to do here, we have to find number of line segments in 150th such pattern. So do we have to draw 150 patterns and then we have to count number of line segments? Will it be possible? No, it is not possible. For 150 we can do, like suppose instead of 150 we are having very big number, let's say it is 1 crore or 1 lakh, something like that. Then will it be possible to draw those many these figures, these patterns? No, it won't be possible in that case. So what we will do, we will just put value of n as 150 in this expression. So this will give us 2 into 150 plus 1, and this is 301. 2 into 150 is 300, so this will be 301. So number of line segments in 150th pattern will be 301. So by using algebraic expressions, we can find the nth term of any such sequences. This is basically a sequence only, 3, 5, 7, 9, like this it is going on. So and 150th position of this sequence will have 301. Now here is one more pattern. It is for the letter P. See, in the first case there is only one letter P, and how many line segments are required? 5 line segments are required. And then in the second pattern there are 2 letters P, and the line segments required are 9. So it is given that for nth pattern we'll have 4n plus 1 line segments. Now suppose we have to tell the number of line segments in 50th pattern. So in the first one it is 5, that is 4 into 1 plus 1. For the second one it is 4 into 2 plus 1. So for 50th it will be 4 into 50 plus 1. 4 into 50 is 200, 200 plus 1, this is 201. So by doing this we can get number of line segments required for the nth pattern or for any number of the pattern. Now let's try one more pattern. So here we are having letter H. In the first pattern there is only one letter and number of line segments required are 5. In the second one there are 2 letters, 2H we are having here, and number of line segments required are 8. So it is given for nth pattern or nth such position. So for one shape 5 line segments are required, for 2 shapes 8 are required. Similarly for n shapes 3n plus 2 will be required. Now suppose the question is number of line segments required for 10th shape, or we can say 10 shapes. So what we will do, we will put value of n equal to 2 here in this expression. So now what we will do, we will put value of n is equal to 10 here in this expression. So this will become 3 into 10 plus 2. Now this is 30 plus 2, which is 32. So it means in 10th shape or in 10 such shapes, 32 line segments are required. So here is one more pattern. In the first one we are having only one dot, and then we are having 4 dots, and then 9, then 16, then 25, then 36. If we will observe carefully, 1 is nothing but 1 square, and 2 and 4 is 2 square, and then 3 it is, and then 9 it is 3 square, 16 it is 4 square, 25 is 5 square, 36 is 6 square. So this is basically for nth pattern, it will be n square. So now if we have to tell number of dots in the 100th such shape, so it will be 100 square. Basically it is n square. For nth such shape, it will be n square. So these are all perfect squares. Now let's see few more applications of algebraic expressions. Now let's say we are having a pattern of numbers like this: 3, 6, 9, 12, like this it is going on, then 3n, it will go on like this only. So these are all multiples of 3 if we will observe carefully. The first one is 3, that is 3 into 1, and then 6, 3 into 2, and then 9, 3 into 3, and then 12, this is 3 into 4. So this is basically 3n. The first number is 3 into 1, the second one is 3 into 2, and the third one is 3 into 3, and the fourth one is 3 into 4. Similarly, let's suppose we have to tell 100th number of this pattern. 100th number will be 3 into 100, that is 3 into the position. The first position it is 3 into 1, the second position it is 3 into 2, the third position 3 into 3. Similarly, 100th position it will be 3 into 100, and this is 300. So like this also we can use algebraic expressions. Instead of 3n we can have any other also. Let's say we are having 4, 8, 12, 16, like this. It's going on 4n, again it will go on like this only. So this time it is multiples of 4. So the expression is 4n. This is the nth term of this sequence. So in this way also we can use algebraic expressions. Now do we have any patterns in geometry also? Yes, we do have. Now let's suppose we are having a quadrilateral. Let's say this is the quadrilateral. Now how many diagonals can be drawn from one vertex? Let's suppose we are drawing diagonals from this vertex. Now how many diagonals we can draw? We can draw diagonal only to this vertex. So this is the only one diagonal which is possible for any vertex for a quadrilateral. So it means from any vertex of a quadrilateral we can draw only one diagonal. Now suppose instead of quadrilateral we are having pentagon. Let's say we are having a pentagon like this. It should have 5 sides. So here is the figure which is having 5 sides. It is a pentagon. Now from any vertex of this pentagon, let's say from this vertex, how many diagonals we can draw? We can draw 1, and then this is the second diagonal. Can we draw any other diagonal? No. We can draw only 2 diagonals. For quadrilateral, number of diagonals was 1. For pentagon it is 2. Now for hexagon, what do you think? What will be the number of diagonals drawn from any vertex of a hexagon? For that, let us draw one hexagon first. Let's say we are having this hexagon. Now suppose we are taking any vertex. Let's take this vertex. Now how many diagonals we can draw? One can be like this, and the second one will be like this, and then it will be this one. So we have drawn 3 diagonals. So if you will observe carefully, for quadrilateral there was only one diagonal, that is for 4-sided polygon, number of diagonals was 1. It was having only one diagonal. Now for 5-sided polygon, that was pentagon, we have seen from one vertex we can draw 2 diagonals. And then for 6-sided polygon, that is hexagon, we have seen we can draw 3 diagonals. We can draw 3 diagonals from any of the vertex of the hexagon or 6-sided polygon. Now let's observe this pattern carefully. This is basically 4 minus 3, that is 1, 5 minus 3, that is 2, 6 minus 3, that is 3. So it means we can say for n-sided polygon, number of diagonals drawn from any vertex will be n minus 3. So it means we can draw n minus 3 diagonals from any of the vertex of n-sided polygon. Now suppose the question is we are having a 20-sided polygon. Then how many diagonals we can draw from any of the vertex of this polygon? So do we have to draw a 20-sided polygon and then we have to check how many diagonals we are able to draw? Will it be possible? No, it is not possible for every number, because here it is 20-sided. We can have more than 20-sided figure also. It can be 50-sided. Then it won't be possible for us to draw and check and then count how many diagonals we are able to draw. So basically this is just n minus 3 diagonals. So it is 20-sided polygon, so it will be 20 minus 3, that is 17 diagonals can be drawn from any of the vertex of this 20-sided polygon. So it is 17 diagonals. So this is how we can use algebraic expression for geometrical patterns also.